Have you ever wondered how easily our minds can be manipulated? In the vast landscape of human psychology, mind manipulation stands as an intriguing phenomenon. It's more prevalent in our lives than we might realize, shaping our choices and perceptions. This video aims to demystify 5 captivating psychological tricks that have the power to manipulate our minds. From marketing strategies to interpersonal relationships, these tactics permeate various facets of our lives. Now it's time to dive into these fascinating mind manipulation tactics. First on the list is the decoy effect. This is a fascinating psychological phenomenon that can subtly sway our preferences and choices. The decoy effect occurs when we are presented with 2 options, but then a third option is introduced, one that is asymmetrically dominated. This means the third option is clearly inferior to one of the original options, but not to the other. Here's an example to illustrate this. Imagine you're buying a car, and you're torn between 2 models. One is fuel efficient but lacks power, and the other is powerful but guzzles gas. Now, a third model is introduced, which has the same fuel efficiency as the first car, but is even less powerful. Suddenly, the first car seems to be a far more attractive option. This effect plays out in various situations from product pricing to voting systems. So, keep an eye out for this trick the next time you're making a decision. Next up, we have the foot in the door technique. This is a fascinating method of gaining compliance, and it works a little like this. Start with a small request, something that doesn't take much persuasion to get a yes. Once that agreement is secured, it's time to proceed with a larger related request. Picture this. A marketer might initially ask you to fill out a short survey about your food preferences. Once you've agreed, they may follow up with a bigger request, like asking you to subscribe to their monthly gourmet food box. Because you've already said yes once, you're more likely to agree to the larger request. In negotiation contexts, this technique can be just as effective. A negotiator might first ask for a minor concession that seems reasonable, then later request a more significant compromise. Remember, a small yes can lead to a bigger one. Third on our list is the halo effect. Now this is a fascinating cognitive bias where the perception of one characteristic influences how we view other traits in a person. Sounds complex? Let me simplify it for you. Imagine you're in a job interview. The candidate walks in, sharply dressed, confident, and has a dazzling smile. Before they even start speaking, your mind has already painted a positive image of them. You're more likely to perceive their answers positively, even if they stumble a bit. That's the halo effect in action. The same goes for social interactions. If someone is attractive or particularly charismatic, we often attribute other positive qualities to them, like intelligence or kindness, sometimes without any substantial evidence. This bias can cloud our judgment, leading us to make decisions based on a single trait, rather than a comprehensive assessment. So don't let a single trait define your entire perception of someone. Our fourth trick is the scarcity principle. This principle operates under the psychological bias that makes things seem more valuable when they appear to be scarce. It's a clever little trick our minds play on us, convincing us that the more rare or difficult to obtain something is, the more we want it. Take for instance the world of advertising. Ever found yourself impelled to buy that limited edition pair of shoes, even though you barely need a new one? That's the scarcity principle at play. Or how about the time you clicked "Buy Now" just because the website warned, "Only 2 items left in stock"? Yep, you've been influenced by the scarcity principle again. It's not just limited to buying behaviors either. It also influences our social interactions and even our perceptions of people. The less available someone or something is, the more we tend to value it. Next time you feel an urge to buy something because it's limited edition, remember this trick. Last but not least, we have the social proof principle. This fascinating principle explains why we often mimic the actions of others, especially when we're unsure about how to behave. For instance, consider social media trends. Ever wondered why a dance challenge or a hashtag becomes viral? It's social proof in action. We see others doing it, we assume it's the correct behavior, and we follow suit. So, in essence, when in doubt, we often look to others for guidance. These psychology tricks are fascinating, aren't they? Let's take a moment to recap. The decoy effect, a clever ploy that influences our decision-making by presenting a third, less desirable option. The foot in the door technique, an approach that uses small requests to pave the way for larger ones. The halo effect, our tendency to let a single positive trait overshadow other characteristics. The scarcity principle, our inclination to desire things more when they are less available. And lastly, The social proof principle, the idea that we look to others' behavior to guide our own. Understanding these tricks is crucial, not just for self-awareness, but also to recognize when they might be used against us. Remember, knowledge is power. The more we understand about the workings of our minds, the better equipped we are to make informed decisions and to protect ourselves from potential manipulation. The mind is a powerful tool. Understanding its vulnerabilities can help us make better decisions and protect ourselves from manipulation.